What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sang, and today we will be cooking Japanese A5 Wagyu. I have two of them. One is a New York Strip and one is a ribeye. So about a month ago, I was looking through the Texas Uni Facebook group, and the admin Jerry made a post saying that he had Japanese A5 Wagyu beef available. He was selling it for 150 each, and each one is about 19 ounces, more than a pound. And he had a special where you can buy two and get one free. So I reached out to him and ordered immediately. The total price was $310 for 3 steaks, and each steak is 19 ounces. So I thought it was a great deal. This is my first time buying Japanese A5 Wagyu beef. I tried going to Costco to look for them, but they said that they weren't available. You have to order online, and it's not guaranteed that you'll get any. So I took the opportunity to buy the Japanese A5 Wagyu beef. So today we're going to be cooking it. So it comes prepackaged, vacuum sealed, prepackaged. So it'll need to be take a few hours to defrost. So that's what we're going to do later on. Stick around and find out. Thank you.
Perfect. I need higher heat. How do I turn it higher heat? Higher? Yep, I need it higher.
You go turn it. Because I'll just help you out.
Right. Right. So usually have to leave it in about 10-15 minutes, and then I would turn it. I want it to be nice and burnt and crispy.
Still keep talking?
Oh, are you recording?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So usually what I need to do is heat the pan really hot, because Wagyu are generally quite fatty, so I won't need that much oil, but I need enough oil to oil the cast iron. And what I'm doing is cooking one of the beef to make sure it's nicely roasted on one side first. Now what I usually do is once I flip it and cook one side, that's a nice brown color. Usually towards the end, that is when I start roasting the rim to cook the fat, because you also want the fat to be crispy. I've already seasoned one side with Himalaya salt. I tend to like garlic salt, but Himalayas also works well. And I put the pepper as well. I don't want to marinate the beef beforehand, otherwise it gets too salty and too peppery, so I only do it towards the end or while I'm cooking, because I'm also lazy, but that's the best way I like to do it. So usually the tip is when you pan fry or grill the steak, the key is to have it hot, quick fry on both sides, and then take it off the pan, and then the residual heat will still cook it inside, so hopefully it will then be medium rare. So I've tried 2 methods before. If I think it's a really thick cut and it hasn't defrosted properly, what I do is a cheat way of doing it is putting it in the oven for about 5-10 minutes. You see it's almost cooked on the top and bottom. I don't want it fully cooked, and then I use the finishing touches and put it on the cast iron to have that nice brown glaze look. Ideally, if you like some pattern to it, there are some griddle pans that has that nice grid finishing, but we're just using a normal pan here. Okay, this is the part where I will start to grill the sides, the rims. So as you can see, usually by the time you cook all the both sides, they're brown. It's usually the ends that are not cooked. The ends are harder to cook, so this is the best way is to get a hair tong and hold it there and sit so it can have that finishing touch and grill all the sides.
Do we need a tray to put the cooked meat on?
Sorry?
Do we need a tray to put the cooked meat on, or we can use that?
To cook this one too?
No, just to put the cooked meat.
Cooked meat, yeah. Yeah, I need to put it there. Do you have a clean plate? I can, yes. Okay, actually, can you get me another tong as well? I need to, because this is big, I can't hold it in place. Okay, there you go. You can see previously the side was really white, so as you see, I've cooked the side too. And it was the end that wasn't cooked yet. Now look at that. It's a good color. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I like to. There you go. Got that lovely brown color. Excellent. All right. Leave that to rest. Let's see. All right, let's go for the next one. Are they both the same type of steak?
One is a ribeye, one is a New York Strip.
Which one's the ribeye?
I'm assuming this is New York Strip and that's a ribeye. I'm assuming.
Maybe.
Because that looks more fatty.
Yeah, I think so. This one you can tell the difference. This one's got a lot of fat. Can you see all that fat that's come out? So what I usually do is the extra fat I use to cook the vegetables afterwards. Okay, as I said, usually whilst it's cooking, that is when I season it. Remember, if you season it before and put the salt before, it take out all the moisture and it'll be too salty. So that's how, as I said, I would do it while I'm cooking and it saves time. I personally, it depends whether you like pepper or not. I only add a little, and the beauty of a pepper is if you want it a bit more, you can add it towards the end. Okay, this is where I need to put a bit more heat again. Is it the same heat? Oh, maybe it's fine. No, I think it's fine. Maybe. Do you have a sharp knife? We can cut through it in slices if you want. This bit, yeah, you can taste a little bit. This bit I want to cook a little bit more, but it's fine. Yeah, so as you can see, it doesn't really require much time to cook as long as it's fully defrosted. Then I think we did almost about 5 to 5 minutes on each side, roughly, or maybe less. I don't really time the way I cook my steak. I usually look at it, how brown it is, and then I turn it when it's ready. The fat on this one probably will take a lot longer to cook because it's got a thin rim of fat. Usually I cut the fat off because I don't want to eat that much fat, but I think guys will love it. Guys love the fat that comes along with the steak and eat that. Okay, let's turn this. Right.
So is the heat stronger one part than the other?
Yeah, I think so. I think also where it's closer to the rim, where it's fat, it's raised. So that's probably that bit was a bit roasted, but it's fine. Okay, I need to season this side too. Enough.
Are you cooking the asparagus in the same pan?
Yes, yes.
Are you cooking tomatoes also in it?
Yes. It's a bit oily, so do you have a bowl so I can pour some of the oil out? Otherwise, asparagus is usually fine, but tomatoes really absorb the oil, so I need to get rid of that. So this is I have the oven in the oil. I have potatoes in the oven, but if I wanted to save time, I would have totally used this oil to roast my potatoes. That would be lovely. Or this beef. Yeah, it would have been awesome if we had a griddle and then you had those marks. But this pan cooks really well.
Will you need to move this steak aside so it
Yeah, can you? Oh, sorry. Yeah, can you shift it?
Go like that. It's hard to set up.
You can eat the fat.
Oh, I'm just cutting it out so it doesn't hang over.
Oh look. This fat is a very big piece, so I need to roast it a bit longer. The reason being is because clearly the fat doesn't cook as fast and quickly as the meat. So that's why I don't want to overcook the meat. So I'm folding it and holding it in place so that at least I can still cook the fat while I was in the grill. Let's see, how's it going? Bit better. I'll cook that bit a bit more. This one's a bit trickier because the fat is on the end. Not good. Much better. Otherwise, the other option is that you can always cut the fat off and put it in the oven.
But we don't need to eat the fat, right?
You don't need to. Actually, some people like to eat the fat. I have some guy friends who likes to eat the fat along with the meat because it just melts in your mouth. I personally don't. Yeah, I need to pour this out. This is a bit hot. I might need some help on holding this. It's a bit hot. Bao, do you have a towel so I can? It's a bit hot still.
Do you need help with that?
Yeah, probably. I just need to pour the oil out because this oil is burning too quickly.
Yeah, we need to turn off the fire?
Yeah, I need to turn the fire a bit down.
Are you turning off the fire?
Yeah, we want to turn it down.
Oh, down.
Because I'm cooking vegetables now. Not completely off because I need to cook.
Bao, you think you can help with this? Do you need help with this? Do you need a guy to do it?
It's okay. Let me check this. Okay, there you go. Watch out. It's going to spill. It's going to be cold. Is it going to work? Is it going to splash? Okay. Oh, yeah, that oil can't be kept, actually. It's too burnt, the oil, because it's kind of... Yeah.
You probably need to wipe it with a towel.
Yeah, I think so. Do you want me to cook the vegetables back in the normal stove, or you want me to still use this?
Yeah, we can just do that inside, right?
Yeah, because originally I wanted to cook it here, but I think it's too burnt. I don't want to use that oil. It would just give a too charred a taste. Yeah, I wanted to char it, but it looks a bit too burnt.
Another pan? You want another pan?
Yeah, I could do that, since you've got the oven on anyway. Do you bite piece?
Go ahead. Or you want to cut it for everyone to try?
Do you want to try it later?
Camera?
You can cut a little bit and try if you want.
We're going to put the other pan now.
Yeah. Can you do a switch over?
Cast iron for the asparagus? Not necessarily.
Not really, no, I don't. But since they have it open, it's just, I think it's easier, I guess. Thank you. All right, veggies. Only a tiny bit of oil with that. Okay. Even with vegetables, I have to time it. So I cook the stem, the bottom first. They take a slightly bit longer. So I always put it in order. I like to cut my asparagus in diagonal shapes because they look prettier. Okay. Okay.
So what piece you want to try? On the steak? Just the edge?
Huh? Sorry? Yeah, you can try the edge. Otherwise, what I could do, I usually do is I slice open them. But I could also use scissors to cut it because it's on the grill. Meat scissors. Hey, Bao, do you have the meat cutting scissors?
Shears?
Sears, that's it. I usually have about 5 pairs at home, like for cooked and raw food. And I just cut it, so easy. There we go. That's really nice. Whoop. My favorite seasoning is usually garlic salt, but I also have a tub of Himalaya salt. That's my go-to. It's healthier. And I like ground pepper. I usually use rainbow pepper. This is good. Oh, it smells so good. It smells good. Alright. Do I have a towel? I can wipe this, or I can use another plate if you want. Okay, cool. Thank you. Love asparagus. They're very healthy. It's got high folic acid and other good nutrients that go with this. Usually pairing with steak, I like using asparagus, cherry tomatoes for the colouring. Because steak can be savoury and very fattening, so cherry tomatoes the acidity would cut into the fat. So that's why I like to pair it that way. So I have some potatoes as well. Those are my 3 go-to. Okay, I think these are good. Once they turn colour, you can see it's slightly roasted. It's good. So one trick is usually some of the asparagus at the end can be quite chewy on the fibre because it's got all that fibre. So there was a few that I could tell was a bit old, so you cut the ends and then the rest is crispy. It's fine. Look at that colour. love that crunch. Yeah. It's good. Alright, I think it's done. Then I just slightly roast the tomatoes. Usually when I don't have time, when I have the oven on, I would put the tomatoes in the oven and just have it roasted. But since I got the pan going, I might as well do a quick fry and then it'll be great. Usually when I cook, I put all my veg on one side when I plate, and that is when I put it in a nice plate with the steak and decorate with asparagus, potatoes and tomatoes accordingly. But at the moment, I'm just going to put them all on one side first. I can smell the asparagus, it smells so good. When it's roasted, it smells nice.
Is that too much asparagus?
Maybe a lot, but I can eat them all. Do you know usually a lot of Western restaurants, they want that finesse where they only put like 3 pieces. I always complain there's not enough asparagus. This was for decoration, but because I'm very Asian, I like to cook everything a lot. Especially when I'm eating that much steak.
Do you need to put the pan down here?
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'll just quickly roast this and then I'll be good. I'm going to put those aside. You know, I don't know whether the article, one article said like, tomatoes are very healthy and again high in antioxidants, but apparently there are certain chemicals that only releases the full flavor and the healthy nutrients is when you roast them or cook them. So that's why generally, even though it's healthy when you're eating them as salad, I like to cook them because that's when all the healthy stuff released.
Don't you get the nutrients regardless if you roast them or not?
Sorry?
Don't you get the nutrients regardless if you roast them or not?
With the garlic?
With tomatoes.
Tomatoes, as I said, some of the nutrients doesn't release until you actually cook them.
But then when you're eating it, you get the nutrients, right?
You are. When you eat them, you get the nutrients, but sadly, it doesn't release all the nutrients until you cook them.
But if you eat a tomato, you should get all the nutrients, even if you cook it or not, right?
You do? Yes.
I'm just guessing. I don't know.
You would get, yeah, you haven't heard of it because I discussed this with a couple of foodies before, and this is in Asia. We were just talking about health in general, and they said, you do realize that the beauty of cooking tomatoes is no matter how long you cook it, the nutrients will stay there, but when it's raw, you still get the nutrients, but sometimes not all the flavor or the healthy stuff comes out. For some reason, when you cook it, that's when all the red coloring and the nutrients get released. For example, if I say Chinese cooking, why would you just cook or boil chicken or steak or stew? There's something called dantong, is when you double boil the chicken for 12, 24 hours. And I said, well, and I did ask one of the experts, I said, what's the difference of cooking a chicken for 24 hours or whatever, or 12 hours, and then it can be more healthy? Why is it healthier? It's just the way you cook it and the way it just releases some of the nutrients in a different way. And this is talking about some kind of experienced a couple of ladies who are experienced with 40 years of cooking, and they were trying to explain the concept of Chinese cooking. I said, what's the difference? Why don't I just, as Sang said, why don't I just fry the chicken and pan fry? I still get all the nutrients, but the way you cook it can also affect the health. Affect how healthy it could be. Yeah, I need to turn it off. I'm gonna pour this down. Oh God, this is heavy. This cast iron is heavy. Maybe I just pick on it out. Yeah. Usually I also like for presentation, I like to buy the vine tomatoes. It's got that vine that you cook with it. It looks, and I put the oven.
So we can start putting stuff in?
Yeah, we could. Usually I would cut it. I would have cut right now because if you leave it too long, it's going to turn from medium bit rare to medium. Alright.
Bob, you ready? Oh, let me.
Oh, this knife is not that great.
You want to put it in there?
Oh
yeah, here. Here.
Yeah. Okay, let's try that. Let's try this. Okay, a bit better. Look how fatty this is. See, so when I cooked it, some people might worry, wow, that looks so burnt, but look at this, it's not burnt at all because inside it's still medium rare. A bit rare, but we could cook it a bit more if you like it more cooked.
It's fine.
I probably want to cook it a little bit more actually.
Oh, do you? I guess because it was somewhat frozen, maybe?
Yeah.
They cook as fast?
Yeah. I think because this one has a lot of fat. That's why.
Or you just eat the outside part and the inside part that needs to be cooked more and just save it for later and cook later.
Yeah, cook.
Because it is a lot of meat, right? And
yeah. What I do is it's super quick. I literally just need to pan sear it on both sides indoors. Okay. Do you want to eat this one first, or do you want me to slice both?
Do you know which one's the ribeye and which one's the New York strip?
I think this one's more fatty, so that might be the ribeye.
Bao, you ready? What you doing?
Just cleaning. I'm ready.
Yeah, let's go so we can.
Do you want to try this one first then, and then I cut that one, or what? Yeah, this is ribeye, so fat. Look at that. Look at all that fat. Usually, when we don't eat the fat, what I personally do is I keep the fat for my cooking, and I put it in a pan. It releases all the oil. Same goes with pork chop, and then I use that oil to cook whatever I need. Okay. Look at that. Ooh.
Bao, let's go, Bao.
Ooh.
That way we can eat fast and I gotta get back to work. It's 1:30. I left at 11:30. Why
don't you should dial in and show you're online. No?
Yeah, but if I do that, they can call me at any time, and that's why I'm afraid.
Oh, so you don't want to sign in so that they see you online.
So we're gonna sit on that side and we just record that side.
Okay.
I'll sit over here so I can look at the camera.
That's fine.
Okay. Some fatty pieces. No, wait. See? It's fat.
Are you gonna cut the other one too?
Yeah. Do you want me to?
That way I can record right now.
Okay.
Do you need to get rid of the fat? You put it on a side plate or something? Are these just extra plates?
For what?
All the extra fat we just put on side plates so you can cut the thing.
How about this? We can we can leave the steak here, and once we're done, then I will serve this one.
Or I guess we can try a bite of each maybe.
You could do that too.
You still need the thing for the fat?
The what?
The bowl for the fat, really?
Do we need a side plate for all this fat?
You mean this?
The fat.
Yeah, you can put it in a bowl if you want, and I suggest I would keep it. Do you want to keep it for cooking? I would. Keep it for cooking because the oil that comes out of it is going to be nice. And also, if you want to eat the fat a lot, I would put it in the oven, and then it will cook, and you can just eat the fat. Some guys love eating the fat. When I went to hibachi with a friend, a Japanese hibachi, I cut the fat off, and he goes, "That's the best part," and he just ate the fat.
Oh.
So,
I can't do that.
done. That's what I was asking. I was thinking, and then Sang was saying, why are you cooking the fat? Does it really matter? I said, some people eat it.
I used to cook it and use it to cook other things, but not eat it straight up.
Yeah. No, I had friends who eat it straight up.
Well, this is my first time eating real Japanese A5 Wagyu, so I'm not familiar with.
Not even from Japan?
Well, I went to a restaurant that said that it was a Japanese A5 Wagyu, but then somebody in the comments said you can tell by the marbling that it's not A5 Wagyu because otherwise it would be fatty. It wasn't. It didn't look like that.
It's very fatty.
So I think maybe the restaurant was lying.
And this is pretty. It's pretty. I can make in split seconds.
So my face has been a blur this whole time?
Yes. No, up front it's fine. It's only when it's far away I can't see you guys.
Oh, okay.
I need glasses too.
Yeah. Because I Netflix binge at night and I can't see, and that's probably really did it in my eyes gone worse.
Do you need to say prayer or anything?
No, I was going to say bon appetit, itadakimasu.
All right, thank you, Tina, for cooking the delicious A5 Wagyu steak, and thank you, Bao, for hosting his house. So we just cooked 2 Japanese A5 Wagyu steak. We have one is the A5 Wagyu ribeye. I think it's Miyazaki. Is it Miyazaki? Miyazaki. And then we have the New York Strip that is the, what's that? Start with a K.
Kanagawa? Kagoshima?
Yes.
Kagoshima?
Kagoshima?
Kagoshima. Yeah.
So explain a little bit what you cooked.
Okay, so what we're plating at the moment is the ribeye because it's slightly more fatty. We used a cast iron. We have a really hot iron and fried it on both sides until it's really brown. As soon as it's brown, I take it off the heat because you don't want to overcook it. With the residual heat, we'll continue to cook it, and that's how you manage to get the medium rare here, or close to rare, depending. If you want it rare, then you cut it straight away. I have caramelized onions here. I have pan-fried asparagus, cherry tomatoes, and roast potatoes, which I boiled and then roasted in the oven. So I hope you guys like it. The seasoning is very simple. Majority of it is just Himalaya salt and some pepper. So I don't want to take away too much of the natural flavor of the beef and steak. So that's why I kept the seasoning very simple. Right, should we try?
Let me take a selfie real quick. I guess we should take a thumbnail too.
You cut your face off on one side.
I guess, how should we do? I guess just say hi or wait, or should we just show the picture?
Yep.
Did you want a little close up?
We'll just do this. I'm gonna take a screenshot and then we'll have
you should have zoomed in or something.
Is the other camera on?
The other camera zooms in right here, so if you want,
so do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Well, that's only gonna be one camera. That's only one plate, so it's fine.
We'll take turns.
You can get the camera and zoom in. Okay. Oh yeah. Are you still recording?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's always recording. Yes.
Oh, because I realized not everybody will know what caramelized onions mean.
Do you want to explain it?
Yeah. So I have a little bit of oil, put some onion in until it's totally brown. Then you add some brown sugar in, let it reduce, and that's where you have this lovely texture. It looks like soggy onions, but that's how it should be. Okay. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Okay.
Alrighty.
This beef is so fatty.
So should we eat the middle first, right? Let's cool down a little.
It has, because we're busy cooking in the vegetables and the onions. That's good. Because I made it medium rare, closer to rare side, so if it cools down, I can totally just quickly pan fry it. It won't overcook, and you still have that steak being warmer. I love potatoes that go with steak.
It's a classic combination, right? Steak and potatoes.
As I said, steak is so oily and fatty. I think having some starch and the tomatoes balance everything.
Now, is this your first time eating a Japanese A5 Wagyu beef?
It is actually.
Like a steak and home cooked? So how do you feel so far?
So I can see the appeal of this Wagyu steak. Just because when you bite into it, it's just a totally different experience. I mean, if you took a bite into like a regular American ribeye, which I actually have one in the oven right now, but it's not as tender. Even when you've cooked it, to this point, you bite into it, it's just like, it's just extremely tender still.
But is it tender because it's filled with fat?
Yes. Yes, I mean that's basically what makes a steak tender, is because of the marbling inside of it. Now, if you cut something that's extremely lean and then you try to cook it, it's just going to be very tough. So with the amount of marbling that's in the Wagyu steak itself, I mean, you can pan fry it, you can put it in the oven, you can do whatever you want. It's really hard to mess up. And, to the point where, I mean, we're having a really good steak right in front of us right now.
Very nice.
In my opinion, I think it's a bit too fatty. I think if it was like an A3 or A2, I think that would be better for my preference. That's just my opinion. I think it's a bit fatty. It's not as bad as the one that tastes like a bori, but
Bad.
Bori?
It's not bad.
bori, yeah.
No, so it tastes like eating bites of butter with a little bit of steak texture. That's why it's like eating A5. So typically
I want
when you
more
go,
steak attached.
yeah, so that's why Americans tend to like American steak, because it has more texture to it. You can taste the meat. And a lot of my foodie friends were just comparing, and we both like steak. If you go to Japan, like hibachi, or where they serve Japanese chef, they serve Wagyu steak, they tend to do thin slices of it. They would sear it both ways, or even in even Soto or other typical Japanese restaurants, when you have an omakase, they have this little stone rock kind of thing. They either put it on a grill, or even Korean, they do the same. And they have thin slices, and you sear it yourself, just 3 seconds, 5 seconds each side. The reason being is not because they're just cheap on giving you the steak. Even my friends who really like steak, they said we can't eat a whole steak by itself because it's so filling and fatty. So they prefer enjoying and savoring those thin slices, and that's enough.
So you're saying thin slices better than these thick slices?
No. It's the same steak, but they would just cut it very thin. Instead of putting, you can still use a cast iron and just pan fry it. It's a different way of eating. A lot of restaurants don't serve a whole steak necessarily.
So, for example, like this cut of steak right here, if you can see this, it's actually pretty much 50% fat and 50% meat. And you really can't find that elsewhere, unless it's Wagyu.
You definitely wouldn't want to eat regularly. You put on a lot of weight. So this is a nice, decadent, luxurious lunch. And you would treat yourself every now and then. And I think it's delicious, because I'm used to eating Wagyu. And every bite you put in your mouth, and you feel that the meat is melting in your mouth.
Do you prefer A5 or do you prefer like an A2 or A1 Wagyu?
I generally don't eat others other than A5. It's either A5 or just a regular steak, like a steak or a tomahawk or T-bone.
The lower level would have like less fat, right, and more meat content, right?
You actually might enjoy American Wagyu then.
Well, that's what we had at the Cowboy, right?
Correct, but you have the short ribs.
Yeah, so I came back on Friday and got the ribeye chuck, ribeye iron, what's iron? Flat iron. So those were the two the additional that they had. But those were cut thin, so it was easier to eat.
Flat irons are generally bigger and thinner, I think.
Well, it was at the all-you-can-eat Japanese grill, so it was cut thin.
But were you able to eat those cuts of meat?
Yeah, because it was thin cut. The only one I had issues with was short rib. The short rib was thicker. Even the regular ribeye was more tender than the short rib. The A5 short rib. No, it was I'm sorry, it's Wagyu short rib.
But you see that, you know, like I said before, if you eat meat from the short rib, that tends to be a little bit more gristly, for lack of a better word. It's a lot more chewy than if it's something like a, you know, a ribeye or a tenderloin or things like that.
Do you want to try the other pieces?
I was coming on to that because I want you to compare. Hold up.
Are you sure this is the New York Strip and that's the ribeye?
I asked you.
But you're the expert. You say you eat it all the time.
I do eat all the time.
Jerry, let us know which one's the New York Strip, which one's the ribeye.
No, I think the New York Strip is the leaner one. The ribeye is probably the fatter one. So we're eating the New York Strip now. You can see it's less fat.
That's what Jerry was recommending.
Yeah.
So whenever I told Jerry that I had a bad experience at Bory's, that it was too fatty and I didn't like it, so Jerry recommended the New York Strip because he said that it's less fatty and more meaty compared to the ribeye.
Yeah. Usually the New York Strip, the fat is not as well spread out evenly marbled. I feel like the fat is more collected on different parts of the steak. It's more around the edges. Look at all of that fat that came out. But that was from the ribeye. The one I bought was ribeye anyway.
So we're trying this new cut, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Is it ribeye or is it New York Strip? What cut do you think it is? Can you guess?
I'm trying to cut away from the fat. I still think. I do
It
think.
tastes more fatty, doesn't it?
Is it?
To me, it does taste more fatty.
But it's like lumps of fat.
You do taste the difference, though. I mean,
Do you think the second one was more tender?
That's so weird.
it's more tender because
To
it's
me,
more
it seems-
fatter.
To me, it seems like it's more tender.
Yeah, because it's fatty.
Very
It's
fatty.
fattier. It's more fatty.
Okay.
So the second one was the ribeye then?
So fatty. Oh my god.
So we took the steaks out of the wrapper. We forgot to mark which one's ribeye, which one's New York Strip. I think this one, the second one, was more fatty.
Yeah, it's very fatty. You couldn't tell because the first one we grilled, that there's so much fat on the outside, so we just defaulted that it might have been the ribeye. But as you cut through it, it was kind of obvious, and especially when we started eating. The first one melts in your mouth, but you can still taste the texture of the steak. The second one was definitely a lot of fat. I feel like I'm eating fat.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's too much fat. That's why I like Wagyu, but I like thin slices more sometimes because this is very
Decadent.
decadent. Yes, I feel like I'm eating too much fat. I didn't understand that when my friend said I can never eat a whole like a Wagyu A5 steak, and I said, really? I mean, I love Wagyu. I would totally do it, but now I start to understand because it can be very heavy on the stomach. So that's why when Sam asked me, I said, well, hey Tina, do we want to have anything with the steak? I said, well, you can't have it on its own. It's really fatty, and that's why I suggested some starch and some vegetables to cut through that. Just otherwise, eating a whole steak on its own, it's very rich.
Yeah, good call. I hope y'all took your cholesterol medication before you ate this.
Gotta go through the roof. I did say that to Sang and Bao. Usually caramelized onions, I probably serve it with more like an American steak because that's an American thing. In Japanese restaurants, I haven't come across one that serves caramelized onions, so that's why I was hesitant. But having said that, because everything has a nice savory taste to it, having the caramelized onions because it's got sweetness to it, that's good. So we've got a bit of the sour citrus from the tomatoes. We've got the sweetness from the onions, and the rest is like lightly salted. So you got 3 flavor profiles.
So what are your thoughts, Sang?
Well, I just ate a piece of the edge one, and it tasted more meaty and less fatty, so I enjoyed that. But even though it's like slightly overcooked, I guess, but it felt more meaty.
Right?
So is it okay to cook A5 Wagyu medium or medium well?
Oh God, you want to kill that? No, medium well? No, man.
Would it be different? Would it taste different?
Honestly, I think with the fattier cuts, you have a safer margin.
It's too fatty for you?
You have a safer margin to cook it a little bit more.
You do, yes. Yeah.
And it'll still come out tender.
It will still come out tender, yeah. I mean, that's why I said if we find the steak cold, you can still totally pan fry it again, and it will still be fine.
You mentioned that it was undercooked, right? Like we can cook it a little bit more.
I would like to cook it a bit more because I like some sear to it.
So that's maybe our issue.
Yeah. But sometimes when I cook it that way, a lot of my friends like it closer to rare, and they don't like to overcook it.
Do you like rare?
I like medium rare.
Medium rare?
Medium rare. Usually that's
do you want
my
me
steak.
to try? I can pan sear the last batch and then you can taste it.
No.
You're done with the fatty beef.
I'm fine.
Timing wise.
I probably prefer medium.
Are you talking about Wagyu steaks or just regular
Just
steaks?
in general.
Because Wagyu steaks, I'm probably going to lean towards medium at this point. But normal, general, I prefer medium rare.
I'm not a steak expert, but I guess I probably prefer more medium.
More medium?
But I don't eat a lot of steak. I probably eat steak like twice a year. And I eat fried chicken 6 days a week.
Yeah, I think medium for Wagyu is good. It's just that I was conscious because I generally eat steak. I've evolved. I used to eat medium rare a lot, but then I noticed most Americans when they cook medium rare is a bit too rare, so I like it medium. I generally like my steak medium, but when I cook it medium, a lot of my friends said, no, why did you overcook it? So I was more careful making sure it's medium rare for you guys. But I think most Asian taste buds would prefer medium, I guess.
Yeah, I think it definitely is a personal preference. I know my mother, she loves it well done.
Oh,
so, yeah, I know.
Because you find it tough to chew on?
Well, she would prefer to know that it's not alive when she eats it. That's the thing, so.
I think that's how we ate it growing up. It's well done. Or medium well.
That's probably why you're accustomed to medium a bit more than this. Because I personally go to restaurants, I love beef tartare as well, and that's just raw beef.
Carpaccio, things like that.
Carpaccio, crudo,
Yep.
sashimi. It took me a while to get over the psychological barrier to eat steak tartare.
So like the ball of black, the Vietnamese dish, right? It's usually cooked like medium well, right? Ball of black?
No.
As it's supposed to be medium.
Medium. Really medium.
I guess when we cook it at home, more medium well.
Oh, really?
So I guess that's what I'm used to.
Oh my god, really?
Oh.
Even when I have pho, I always order the rare beef. I don't like it overcooked. But again, personal preference.
Right.
I think because Asians, or they're so used to eating things more medium well cooked, even when I order rare beef in a lot of the Vietnamese places of pho, it's just cooked. Whereas I go to London and you have pho there, when you have for rare beef, it's rare. And because the pho, the soup base is already cooked, and as soon as you dip it in, it's already cooked.
Right. And it really depends. Like when you go out to eat, restaurants, their cooks, they all vary in skill and expertise. And so most people tend to err on the side of caution and order medium rare. Just in case. I mean, if it comes out too rare, you can always send it back. But if it comes out well done, you're stuck with it.
Oh, maybe we could have cooked at different temperatures and compared. One medium rare, and a medium and cooked. Then we've had a better comparison of how Wagyu cooks.
Sure, we'll do that next month. Jared, do you have any more specials? 3 for buy 2 get 1 free.
I was thinking of waiting for another 3 months. This is a heavy. Next month. We were asked Jerry from the Texas Zuni Club, said, when's your next batch of Wagyu beef coming?
His next batch is 8 ounces, and I'm not sure what the price is, but it's 8 ounces. Oh, I think it was $8 per ounce.
I don't even know what that means.
How many
Was this 12 ounce?
This was 19 and 20.
dollars per ounce?
Huh?
$2 per ounce, or?
I know Jerry's new post said $8 per ounce.
What about this current one though?
This was it was 150 each, but buy 2 get 1 free, so it's $3.10 for 3. So I think it was a regular price.
Okay.
You can buy smaller
8 times 19 is 8 times 19 is 152.
You can next time buy a smaller steak and just try and slice each, but different temperature.
So if you had to choose, let's assume that the first steak was the New York Strip and the second steak was the ribeye, right? So if you had to choose, which one would you prefer, the ribeye or the New York Strip?
If we had to eat like a whole steak like this again,
It's very heavy.
I'd prefer the first one.
Because I guess I was feeling I like the second one.
You like the second one? That's more fatty? Wow.
I don't know. But then I ate the edge, so the edge was more cooked.
But remember, you have to eat the whole steak because this is what we just talked about.
That's why I said we need the right size pan, because otherwise it can't, and also the stove, otherwise it couldn't cook unevenly. Typically, when I cook for and friends, they have different preferences, right? And those who like medium or well done, I tend to serve the edges for them more.
Yeah, I prefer the edges.
And then those who like medium rare or rare, that's when I start to serve, especially the middle. That's the most rarest part. I will serve the middle. So then it caters for all different preferences. That's how I do it.
So you just cook the same way, just serve the different pieces to different people, right?
Correct.
So,
but if everybody has the same preference, then I have to make sure I have a big enough pan that I probably will shift the steak a bit more. So you saw when I was cooking it, I didn't touch the steak. I just left it on its own.
yeah.
And then I would flip it. But if I want it all to be evenly cooked, then I'll probably shift it a little bit more around, not flipping it, but shifting around, rotate it, so that it cooks more evenly with similar consistency. But yeah, back to my preference, I probably agree with Bao. I like Wagyu beef, but I don't like it too fatty. You can see I tried to cut all the fat off, but I have guy friends who love the fat. I prefer the first one, which is New York Strip. But this is ironic because the ones that I bought were all ribeye and I liked. And I think because my one was slightly smaller pieces, was $130 for a steak. So when I cooked it, it didn't taste as fatty as this one. I'm just wondering.
So yours is different?
So I was wondering whether it's because it's bigger, it's fattier. So in this case, I don't usually go for like New York as much as ribeye. But in this case, I think New York is okay for me because the ribeye was a bit fatty. Maybe because it's bigger piece. I don't know.
Do you need some water or anything?
Probably need some water. Did you wash it down? You still got your ribeye in the oven. You still got overcooked.
Oh no, it's a very low temperature right now.
Oh really?
Yeah. And I'm going to finish it off with the sear in a bit.
You sure you don't want me to sear some pieces so you can see how it is when it's really cooked? Let me do it now.
No, it's 2 o'clock. I need to get back to work. I'll log on just to check work. I probably log on, check my emails and stuff, but see the message for an hour.
And then,
drive home.
Wait 1 hour, do some work, come back, drive back, and then do this.
I guess I can check my emails and stuff, and you can continue eating whatever.
Okay.
All right. So, how do you rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, and versus like a regular traditional Texas ribeye? So, how do you rate a Texas ribeye, and how do you rate this steak?
Who are you asking first?
Whoever wants to go first. Let's go with Bao first, because she's an expert. She eats this a lot. So,
I'm not an expert. I just like eating.
You're asking me when my mouth is full.
But no, you're still listening though. So.
Well, I mean, just to kind of summarize, this is definitely a fatty cut. I mean, obviously it's Wagyu, so it's synonymous with fat at this point. But even after, we're pan frying it, searing it, and cutting it, and then just eating it up like a regular steak, it still turns out very fatty. So,
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
There can be such a thing as too much of a good thing. And I feel like with so much fat in here, it actually kind of lessens the experience of eating steak. Mm-hmm. You kind of want to taste the meat as well as the fat. And here, the fat is actually quite overwhelming. And so, I do prefer the first cut over the second, just because you can actually taste more of the meat. Mm. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give this, I want to say a 7.
That sounds about right, actually.
You feel the same way? How did you feel the first time you ate A5 Wagyu though? Versus compared to now?
As I said, when I first had Wagyu, it was in Japan, and I would rate that like a 10, obviously.
So this is not a 10?
But it was the thin slices, as then it's prepped it differently. Rarely would you have a whole steak. I think when I had an A5 whole steak was in Korea, because their one is less fatty but still A5. Japanese, for some reason, Japanese A5 is definitely more fatty, so I never had it served as a steak. So that's why I would say 7. But I bet if I cut it thinner and we cooked it differently, you probably enjoy it a bit more. Because I agree with Bao, when you eat too much of a good thing, it's overwhelming. But if I savored it and hit the steak and I only gave you a few slices, I think, wow, that tastes amazing. It melts in your mouth, thin slices. But we also had this discussion when you said we did you went for hot pot, right? You did serve it thin slices, but it just tastes like butter. You couldn't taste the texture of the beef. Now the difference is when you do grill it, you still taste the texture of the beef versus when you just boil it. Yeah.
So I see some videos in Japanese restaurant in Japan where they cut it in cube and then they grill it on the takoyaki grill.
Nice too,
so how do you feel that cooking it that way?
Yeah, that's nice too.
Have you tried that?
Yes, I have. That's typically you find them in hibachis as well. That tastes good as well, because again, it's like bite-sized deliciousness. Thin slices, you don't have that much of it, so you, as Val mentioned, you savor such a small piece. You don't get much of it. But the cube ones, you have a little more meat, but it's perfect because it's really grilled and crispy on the outside, and you still taste the melted butter and the texture inside. So that's really nice too.
So should we cook that next time?
You could. We can do thin slices and cube. Then you can compare. Now we compared how it's like to cook a whole steak and eating different parts of it. As you said, you enjoy the outside more because it's more cooked and medium, but you don't taste the oily fat as much. But some who prefer medium rare to rare, that's how it should be. Yeah, matter of preference. Yeah, but I think 7 because it was cooked as a steak. But generally I would give it a 10 if we prepped it differently. So cuts, the way you cook it, it makes a huge difference, even if it's the same ingredient.
Mm-hmm.
I give it a 7 as well. I think it's a bit too fatty. I prefer more meat.
Yeah, I feel like I ate a bowl of oil.
I think I would be more happy with like an A2 or an A1 Wagyu beef with more meat and less fat. I think it's a bit too fatty for my preference, but I think maybe if we cut it up in squares and cook on the skillet or something, it might taste better according to my preference. But I guess I don't care for medium rare as well. I probably prefer more medium because I like the edges more versus the inside part.
Yeah, it's interesting how like different parts, whether it's cooked or not cooked, or where it's more crispy, it tastes different. Yeah, that's why I was surprised when you put you said you put $150. That's a big piece of steak. That's very indulgent. And it's not that I don't want to pay the extra dollars, but it's a lot. It's really fatty. It's a good sized portion. But I'm glad we're sharing this. Just imagine you're by yourself, even a guy. One guy eating that by itself, it's really a lot. Yeah, that's good. It's your cheat day. Cheat days.
Yeah, cheat week. I think it would have been good if we just did one, actually, and split between three of us.
But having said that, we wanted to compare it. So that's why next time when we do this, we buy smaller steak, cook it differently, then we'll have bite sizes of everything else. Yeah. But thank you for letting us try this together.
I still have one more at home. New York Strip.
Next week or next month.
Then next month you cook it differently. Now you know. Don't cook it like this. Cut it into, well actually it'd be hard when it's frozen. Yeah, you can still cut it in cubes once it's defrosted. And
if you have a meat slicer, you can cut it in cubes, but you just, So what rating would you said 7, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
we're very consistent across the board. Even for me, when I really like steak and Wagyu, I would say 7 because it's a steak. Even for me, when I cooked at home, I only had a few slices and I gave the rest to other people. I like Wagyu, but there's such an amount how much you can indulge.
Right.
Well, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you, Tina, for cooking. Thank you, Bao, for hosting the house. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked or learned something from this video. So we all gave it a 7 out of 10 rating for the Japanese A5 Wagyu. We had two cuts. We have a ribeye and a New York strip. But hopefully you can join us again on the next time we try the Wagyu again, cooked in a different way. Thank you for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click on the notification bell. Thank you and take care. Bye.
Bye.